Hey, 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 this is Jay Chatfield, Loving Yourself to Life here. A little raw today, kind of put my little pony high. Hey. Well, I was just chilling for the last 2 days. It's been a little overcast here in Texas, and so I was just kind of like, this is my chill and spill look. I don't know. I just made that up. Should be chill and sip look because I've been sipping my tea and just feeling amazing about the rest. I have a question for you guys. Um, have you ever just loved something so much and you really thought you had to do so many things just to make that thing feel amazing or make that person feel amazing? I don't know how I just love you and I want to give you everything. And doing this journey, in the beginning I thought I had to do some external things to satisfy my internal desire to be loved. And I realized that even if when I did something, it still didn't feel like I was loving on me. It felt like I was compensating. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like I was just, oh, I had to work on the inside before I could receive the external things. So usually now I like to listen to certain things. Like I'll record my voice saying certain things, or I'll fill my days with learning something. And that actually fulfills me more than getting nails done or, toes done. But I do like those things, but I didn't appreciate those things until I built up the inside me. And this goes for a lot of things that we go through. Like if you're starting a new business, you had to have built up your knowledge before you can, one, do things that will in turn love on you from the outside. So like let's say I really like cars, right? For years I was driving a van that was like, yeah, that was, I swear it was one of those things where I was grateful to have it but really wanted something else better. But I had not yet expanded my mind to receive something else. So there was a few times when my kids and I, we were sitting on the side of the road and my husband was on shift at the fire department and he just couldn't get to us. And we live in a place, we don't have any family here. And I had amazing neighbors that would come 50 miles because that's how far we had to go in order to take the kids to their activities. So I would be down there and, we'd be waiting and, sometimes we didn't get home until 11 o'clock at night. But like I said, we're still here. And it was a wonderful experience because it was working on my mindset, my inside. I just hadn't brought myself to be able to appreciate anything newer. You see, I wanted it and I knew this was something that I should have, but could I have it? So to me, the outside me wanted it, but the inside me kept saying, I don't know. What do you think? So the first time I went to go get a car, it didn't go through. I showed them my paperwork. I had a job. I was making money. And they said, no, you're not going to be able to get a brand new van. Honestly, I didn't even want a brand new van. I just wanted one with AC. In Texas, AC is important. AC is an essential part of life in the heat of Texas when you're driving little kids around. Okay. I lived in Florida, which is hotter. which is a different heat. But I was, before I had kids, my husband had a little Honda, and he had to drive like 2 hours to work, and I only had to drive like 10 minutes. So we traded cars. I let him have the car with the AC, the better running car, and I took the car that did not have AC. And I was riding it to work, and one day it started raining. That was the longest 10-minute ride back to my house with the windows up. It was like 100 degrees outside. It kept fogging up. And I was like, please just let me get home. Let me get home. But it was okay for me as a single person. It really wasn't, but we made it work. I was only 10 minutes from the house and pregnant, but it was cool. But then driving like 50 miles with kids without AC, you start to question life at that point. You start to question whether this is your purpose, because, but it was just, yeah, it's a requirement. So I just wanted a car with AC. So I was just like, okay, this is what we're doing. And it didn't go through. The second time I went, I was just out, I came home and my car was broke down. We had went on a vacation. It was not moving. And it wouldn't pass inspection. Nope. Didn't go through. Didn't go through again. Again, I had all my paperwork. I had everything in order. Nothing. No. They said no. So at this point, I started listening to I started evaluating the inner conversation I was having with myself. Like, doubting that I could go and have something better for myself. So I had to fill my nights, and I did, with things that was building me up to accept the things that I wanted for myself on the outside. And the new van was one of them. I had to just build myself up to it, because you can't accept something mentally that satisfying if it's not mentally worked on in your mind. I had to kill that doubt. I had to kill that unworthiness, because that was playing on the outside. It was your thoughts become things. So it was really manifesting itself. And so when I started listening to some great content online, and I started reading some books, and kind of really appreciating me. Now, it didn't have all to do with just getting a car. It was more of me just appreciating me and knowing that I deserved it, because I put in my mind that you don't buy a better car, or that you don't finance a car, because this was what other people were doing. But just remember, everybody's situation does not apply to everybody's situation. And that's, we kind of get into this where we follow somebody and they say, oh, put this aside, and you should never buy a new car because it depreciates. It's just stupid. Okay, thank you for the information, and that may work for a lot of other people. But if this is something that's going to help me at this time and stop me from being on the side of the street with my kids, or just in a bad place where I'm feeling like trash, and it works, it will work for me, I'm going to do it, because you have to have that discernment for yourself. I'm not saying go do you again, you have to have that discernment for yourself. A person across the street may love used cars, and their cars may be one of those barely making it cars, but that's not for you. It wasn't for me, because I drove so far. So why would I take their advice in getting a beater? That beater would have beat me. No, I'm not doing that. So just have a discernment about what you do, because like I say, everybody's situation does not apply to everybody's situation. And I've heard people say favor ain't fair most of my life. And I've learned to know that, it's not that favor isn't fair, it's that the thinking isn't the same. That's what I've come to learn. There's nothing that's handing out favors to people. Oh, you get it, you get it. No, your mind, your inside, your inner mind dialogue has to be in a place to be able to accept favors. Because I've seen people that have had some really good favors in front of them, and they were like, no, I don't think, no. And they really needed it, but they just didn't know how to mentally accept that favor. And this was something that was going to be great for them. But again, and then later down the line, it was like, man, I should have. Whoo, yeah. But it's okay. We're growing in this together. We've been conditioned in a way to think that there's an automation to everything, that it just has to go this way, or if we don't, we're off the beaten path and we're going to, yeah, I did change my voice for that. So just know that you have to change the love you have inside of you, your mindset inside of you, before you can appreciate those things that comes on from the outside. Those outside things will never satisfy you if you don't have the mental capacity, the mental lovingness, the mental cushion, the emptiness of saying you're not, emptying out the unworthy thoughts and that you don't need these things type of, and when you really want them, and when you, it's just, you have to change that situation. You love on yourself from the inside. Listen to better things. Go into sit into nature and it's all about reformation at this point. You have to reform that mind, reprogram those things. All right. This is Jay Chatfield, knowing that I love you because I love me. Do something for you today that only you will love. Have your love yourself day.